Multiverse of Madness, second week out. We just had its second opening weekend this weekend. Or it's Saturday right now, so let's continue. But the news is that it's made $500 million at the box office over the last 2 weeks, which is nice. That's a good chunk of change. It's obviously made its money back. It's not a surprise. Like if anybody knows the MCU, that is a proper opening. It also had the 10th biggest opening weekend domestically of all time, so that's a great thing. And so I guess the news is like, well, here's the question: we were pondering whether or not the movie would actually cross the $1 billion mark, which No Way Home did earlier or late last year, and we thought that perhaps this could, just based off all the trailers and the hype behind it, that this could be even bigger than No Way Home.
Nah.
You're seeing our faces already. Well, on the tomato meter,
Strange it was not on kids' shoes when in the '95 like Spider-Man was.
No, that's true.
Doctor Strange. Kids weren't looking for. Let me get the Doctor Strange costume. Spider-Man
now.
It might be, but
now.
the kids don't relate to Doctor Strange as much
they
as
don't
Spider-Man.
know
Spider-Man, obviously that's
one is that
favorite.
Spider-Man was also obviously a kid like every other kid too.
Exactly.
It made
all those factors.
Strange was an older doctor. What the fuck kind of kid would want to listen to this dude? But Multiverse of Madness on the tomato meter right now, 74%. Still not certified fresh, mind you. I don't know why. It has 344 reviews.
It's 74%.
Wait, what's the certified? Oh, 77.
75. How long have you worked there?
Yeah, bro, you should know that. What the hell? Why is he answering that question?
75 is certified.
75.
Fresh.
Sorry,
and
75.
if it drops below that, then it's just fresh.
Doctor Strange isn't fresh.
Certified fresh.
Doctor Strange
will not be certified fresh.
Will not be certified.
What if he gets more reviews and they're fresh?
No. Oh, it's at 344. It's unlikely at this point that it will.
Dude, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
I mean, 74 is not a bad score by any means. But here's what's interesting. Here's what's interesting. At 74%, it is going to be, I believe, the fifth lowest scoring MCU film of all time out of 28 films. Yeah, at 70. So that's both kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like it's that shows that the MCU's record has been great. That being said, it's also it's in the bottom. It's in the bottom ranking of that 28 films, which is, I mean, not surprising depending on how you felt about the movie, but that's also surprising considering, like, I think most people thought it was still pretty good, but there's only
I loved it.
2 other movies below that is fresh, or no, 3.
And I was talking to you earlier this week about it and let you in on it, Gino. I said the more I think about it, the worse the film is. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, when you sit on it, you don't like it.
When you sit on it, I mean, I still enjoy. There's parts of it I still really enjoy, and like the Ramy parts are really great. It just felt like it is a big narrative mess, and I do think the film would have been much more successful had it come out right after WandaVision.
Yeah.
And
so let me ask, what were your expectations of it coming in? Like, were you like, this is going to be a game changer?
Way too high.
Yeah, see, that's the same thing happened with my wife. My wife loves Doctor Strange, the first one. Couldn't get enough of watching the first Doctor Strange, right? And like, I think that first Doctor Strange was so impressive and exceeded our expectations so much because no one had any expectations.
That's true. I think we can all say that exceeded all of our expectations.
Dude, Doctor Strange, I still think he's underrated. A lot of the guys,
is underrated. He's great.
A lot of the people here, a lot of the fans, they're not clamoring for Doctor Strange as much as I think they should because of the way the first movie showed how powerful he is, the way the graphics were, all that stuff. It just made it such a incredible superhero because of that first movie, and then I don't think anything before that had any like real significance. I know Strange there were some things back in the day with Doctor Strange, but he was never that popular of a character.
Yeah.
But when Benedict came in and then made him that smooth, silky like doctor, like with the arrogance.
One of the things why I believe, to jump off what you're saying, why it kind of made the first Doctor Strange so good, on a narrative level, is that they gave him one of the Infinity Stones to control. Like no other superhero before that had that narrative tie to the larger thing, and to actually be able to use the Infinity Stone under some sort of control, right? That was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, so to jump into Infinity War from that was just like, that's pretty sick. And he's just a cool character in general. And it's a good movie. It's just a good ass movie.
I have a bad feeling about the third one though, but We'll see.
We'll see if there's is there a third one?
They have to be.
He said he wants to play the character for 10 more years.
Well, that doesn't mean that he could keep showing up. I mean, movies.
I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know how the third one's gonna be.
And also, let's be honest. I know one of my coworkers said this the other day, brought it up, and I thought it was perfect. I'm like, this is more so a Wanda movie, honestly. Like
it is,
yeah.
It's more, and it could have been better. Probably as a Scarlet Witch movie. It could have been
Strange
better.
And the Scarlet Witch, right? You guys talked about that.
I think that should have been the title.
Yeah. Now that you said it, that would have been such.
You guys said it last time. I mean, I understand because
I guess we said that last time.
Yeah, such a significant. Last time. I'm a listener, guys. I got you.
All right,
I got you on the back.
Damn.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that point. Is the movie had so much Wanda.
It did.
Easily could have just been a split.
I agree.
I agree. I do feel that, as you know, we can finish up Doctor Strange here. I think that in like 5 to 10 years, like we'll look back on it as an Age of Ultron type of film.
It probably will be.
Ends up the multiverse, the way other characters and other themes were introduced. I think it will be looked upon like that and be like, oh, we were all a little wrong. But as right now, too much Wanda, too little Doctor Strange for my
That's a great point. I do have the same feelings that I had after watching Age of Ultron from this movie, where it's like, I didn't love everything about it at all. Some of it I really didn't like, but it was, again, they're both not terrible movies by any stretch of the imagination. And that, I think Age of Ultron actually grew on me more as I watched it. That being said, I am having the opposite reaction like you, where every time I think about this movie, the more I'm not liking it. Even more. So I don't know.
But you're liking it as time goes on, or
Doctor Strange at the moment. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness is something that, as I think about it more, I'm not liking as much. Age of Ultron, something that aged better for me. But we'll see. Like you said, I don't know. Well, we might.
We'll it has that. I always related to the X-Men 3, The Last Stand effect. The Last Stand effect. I hated The Last Stand when it came out because I can talk about it.
Of course. Oh yeah, no, you can talk about it.
Tread lightly here.
Because remember, who is it? Was it Jean Grey who passed? No, Jean Grey. She died in the X2, right?
No. She X3. She's the main person. Yeah.
No, but she comes back in X3, but she died technically because she got drowned.
You mean Jean,
and not Phoenix.
X3, they took out Cyclops. Who was it? Xavier?
Cyclops.
Did they take out Xavier?
Yeah,
too?
Xavier dies.
They killed all of them out, and I was so upset after that movie.
Right.
But now watching After Days of Future Past connects it all together. I'm like, okay, it's all good now.
Exactly. That's
so a great same kind of effect. Like one time you watch the movie initially, like I can't believe it, and then 10 years later. After all that resentment, you're like, oh, okay. It made sense now.
I will say I never actually hated The Last Stand.
I did. I didn't hate it. I was so upset. I didn't have any foresight or I didn't think about the future. Yeah. Like, hey, they're going to bring him back eventually. It's just
first of all, I think it's safe to say, too, they didn't have a plan like Kevin Feige did. They just got lucky with Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
When was that movie, X3? X3 was
2007 or 5.
Sounds right.
Sounds about right. Well, no, that's a great point because I wanted to bring up one of the things that happened to me with Spider-Man with No Way Home.
Okay.
Me and Alex don't exactly love Homecoming and Far From Home.
Right.
But after No Way Home, you either. Okay. But after No Way Home, I found a better appreciation for what they did because of having seen where it was going to go. Like, No Way Home is like the true or this whole thing, these 3 movies were like the origin story for this Peter Parker. And seeing it in that way, I was like, okay, then I kind of have more respect for those 2, even though I didn't like them the first time. So I feel like this could possibly be that as well. Okay. I guess it just depends on what happens, which is, again, that's a crazy thing to think about now. That's how kind of superhero movies work.
Yeah.
Like, when they're interconnected. You got to
set up the great ones with some It's like other ones that just are kind of filler movies. Yes. I don't know if that's the right term.
It's like comic book. It's like comic books. It's the same thing. I mean, I've never read the comics, but I would imagine it's the same thing. Like you read a comic, maybe you didn't love it, but you knew something was coming down the line.
There's a greater timeline at stake.
Yeah.
We're going to give them this
things they could, story, down the line. So it's crazy that basically slipped into the movies now. So
I mean, look, I think Strange is going to top out at like 800 million, which by all means is still a success.
Alex, you said it could probably top at 800. I'm gonna say 7. I'm gonna go lower. Just I think it's gonna do 750. I think it'll do 750. I think it's gonna go lower a little bit.
Think about it. There isn't another movie worth paying admission to for general audiences till
You have Top
May
Gun
27th.
coming though. Yeah, that's 2
Till
weeks.
May
I mean, okay,
27th.
2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
Right.
Worldwide.
But it's gonna drop. You're right. Maybe about 20%.
It's gonna drop. What are you talking about? Uncharted was number one.
No. I mean the ratio at which it will. So I think you're right. Because if it stays at the same trajectory, you could easily go to $1 billion. But if it's gonna slightly slump every week, like 2 weeks from now, you're right. Probably 800. I'm still gonna go 750 just because I have a feeling.
Do they announce when they're gonna take the movie down or put it on Disney Plus?
I mean,
or do they just pop? It just pops up when they feel like it.
In terms of announcing when it will be on Disney Plus, they do announce that. With the movie cycle though is kind of, it depends on that's up to the theater at that point.
Just making sure,
but they will announce when Multiverse is going to come on theater. I expect it to be up probably within the next 2 months. Honestly, at this rate,
August.
Things are coming up. Yeah, things are coming up a lot sooner nowadays. So probably 2 months. You'll see it on Disney Plus. 2.5 maybe.
Yeah. The last one we had was Eternals, and it was on Disney Plus in January.
Yeah, that was quick. All those recent release were quick, so that's why.
Well, because it was a flop, so they're like, well, we got to get this out of theaters and into homes now because we're not going to make that money. Fucking Eternals, man. God damn, I hate people for that movie, but it's fine. Anyways, okay, that is our
Eternals. I like the two, but go ahead. Yeah.
Can we just mention that? Of course, you two are friends. Gino likes X-Men: The Last Stand. Ed will fight anybody that says Dark Phoenix isn't good. Which Dark Phoenix is ass.
But, I haven't watched Dark Phoenix yet. That's one I'm slipping on. Because I've heard
you haven't watched Dark Phoenix.
Because I heard reviews like Alex who said it's not.
Oh, we're gonna watch that tonight, bro.
We're watching that tonight. Sometimes, but
it's so bad.
I think I've watched it twice.
I don't know. I got to see it.
I did see. I mean, I definitely saw more of the cracks the second time. I still fight that it's not a terrible movie, but
I'll check it out. Let's see how Cersei does as
Cersei.
Cersei.
That's the wrong character.
No, that's not Cersei. She's
the wrong person.
Yeah, that's I didn't think.
What is her? I actually don't know. What's her name though?
What's that? That's Cersei, isn't it?
No, Cersei's the other bitch. The fucking one.
The shame
girl.
No, that's right.
They shave her head and shit. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
What is her name? I forget.
Sophie Turner is her name.
Well, Sophie Turner's the actress, but what's the character in GOT? I forget.
Okay, so
look it up. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Anyways, wait.
Sansa starts.
Sansa. Yeah.
Sounded like Splenda. Okay.